Hello and welcome back to another Lord of the Rings live stream. Today we are continuing on in the progression series with the final scenario in the Sands of Harad. I don't know why I could not think of that about that. The Sands of Harad expansion. And so we are going to be trying this out, and I did say last stream that I wanted to try a lineup of the Rings of Power wielders, but I've been reading through this scenario and I don't know if this is the scenario to try that out, because this is a kind of a unique scenario where we're not going to be playing with all of our heroes that we start with. We get a unique, and we're going to be acquiring heroes as we go through the quest. And so I think I kind of want to try the Rings of Power like lineup. And when I'm saying Rings of Power, people who wield Rings of Power, not the TV show, um, who wield those rings all from the get-go. So I think this also is a really fun and unique deck building challenge. And so I think we're going to push that off to maybe next time. But since this is the last one in the quest, if we win, we get to unbox a new expansion. So we got we're gonna have to learn how to say this. The Mumakil. And so we've got this that we get to unbox if nah, win. We win. There you go. Excellent. Hope everyone is doing well. Oh, let's get to deck building. So this is a 4-stage quest that we start out with 0 heroes. We get 1, 2, then 3, and we have to just place progress, place 5 progress. Hey Jared, how's it going? Good morning. Welcome. And then defeat an enemy to get the last hero. Now, for a lot of these, the first card that you play each round does not require a resource match, and so you're able to kind of get around some of those like super hindering deck building. So if you draw into the wrong thing, That being said, we also get one of these heroes, because let's just read this to make sure. Um, we set the our chieftain aside how to play. Each player moves 1 copy of Sauron's Enforcers to the staging area. Move each hero to the staging area. Each player takes control of a non-objective hero and adds 2 resources to its hero's resource pool. Remove each remaining objective hero from the game. For the remainder of the game, heroes in the staging area are in play but under no player's control. Immune to player cards' effects, and the text boxes are considered to be blank. So we're going to start out with effectively 3 resources. And we're going to get these heroes, I believe, through the entirety of the game. So we have kind of the leadership one. I think that they each kind of lean into an aspect, but here's the leadership, kind of balanced stats, the 2, 2, 2, 3. And then at the beginning of the planning phase, we get to add a resource to a resource pool, which is really awesome. We have the questing one. After we commit to a quest, we can look at the top card of the encounter deck, and then you can play or you can discard that card. This is a fun quest. Good. Yeah, it seems really fun. It seems really, really cool. You got the attack one. You can deal damage after he's declared as an attacker. I think this is definitely not who we're going to be taking. Mainly we need well, okay, they have 2 quests, and then the last one is the defense one with only the 1 quest power, which I don't think we're going to be able to take here. But after they are declared as a defender, we get to discard a shadow card. We are going to start with 1 Sauron's Enforcers. Yeah. Which is going to be X is the stage number of the main quest. So we're going to start out with 1 threat on the main. And I'm kind of thinking that we have to push through. We have to get to place 1 progress on this stage so that we can get one of our heroes. And so it's kind of interesting. And also with Sauron's Enforcers being 30, we have the lowest engagement cost, I believe, is no, there's a 20. There's a warg in here that's 20, which is going to be annoying. But I think what we want to do is we want to pick our heroes such that our starting threat is pretty far away from 30, just so that we have a little bit of time to build up and get ready for not having heroes. So that makes me think hobbits. That makes me think of less powerful heroes, which I don't think is a huge deal, considering we may not have them for the entire time. And it makes me think of heroes that deal with resources. I'm thinking mainly here Theodred. So after Theodred commits to a quest, we can choose a hero committed to that quest and add a resource to that resource pool. So if we rescue Theodred at first, we can start just our resource generation, and because on stage 1 and 2 the first card does not need to have a resource match, we can ramp pretty quickly. That's kind of what I'm thinking. At least for one of the heroes. It's also a really low threat cost of 8. We're in like Hobbit territory at that point. So if we use Theodred for resource generation, low income, the only problem there is then we start to run into questing power issues, because if we're running, I think we're probably running Kalaleel at the beginning of the planning phase, add a resource to our hero's resource pool. That just seems really good. Seems really, really solid, especially if you don't have to require a match. I'm thinking what we do is we just run a stupid amount of allies and just have some fun with it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So if we go with Theodred, we also open up access to sneak attack, Steward of Gondor, a lot of our resource fixing things, and he's Rohan. So we can do some Rohan stuff. The only thing that would make that better if he was Gondor. And then we can, because Gondor has some resource stuff going on. I think the second hero, or okay, the other thought that I had about the one hero, or the first hero that we rescue, it could be something along the lines of like an Aragorn, someone that you can Voltron and just make them incredibly powerful and just throw all your resources into them. So that would be another thought. Or we just go Elrond and then Vilya everything. But I do like the way that this quest makes you kind of think. I think it's really, really good in that sense. We could go Theoden. We could just go all Rohan. Reduce the cost of first Rohan ally you play from your hand from each round by 1. And then on the stage 3 removes the resource requirement. So you do have to meet resources when you go to stage 3, which is when you'll have 2 heroes. So probably best to try and go Biosphere at this point, because at some point you're going to be locked out of playing any cards. So if we do that, the other option would be like Gandalf, and you just don't care. If we do that, it's going to be a little challenging to not go Tactics, because Tactics has a lot of damage, and we're going to have to be dealing with some orcs. We also do have blue heroes or dwarfs that deal with orcs, so that'd be kind of cool. Go Nori. Nah. Okay. Wondering if we go, what's our defensive option? Our defensive option could just be allies blocking, and we just run a huge amount of allies. And if we do that, we could actually lean into Rohan a good deal with Theoden. And then he has a decent amount of health. The other thing, any undefended attack gets dealt to heroes in the staging area, and so we will want to defend. But Theoden does have 4 health, so we can hang out with Theoden. I haven't played Theoden in a while. Theoden seems like he is someone that can kind of do a lot of have a lot of impact when he comes out. And so I'm thinking Theoden, Theodred, that puts us at 20. So we want a pretty low cost, maybe Frodo. We go Frodo with the 7th threat cost. We could honestly go Dwalin because we do have every single enemy in this deck other than one is an orc, and so after he attacks and destroys an orc, we get to reduce our threat by 2, and that's a threat cost of 9. It puts us really close to 30, which starts engaging everything. And so maybe Theoden is not the right call here because that really hinders what we can choose. Go Glorfindel. Glorfindel just seems really good. at all times, Glorfindel seems good. Oh, and we have Legolas. I forgot about Legolas. I am looking at blue. I guess I don't have to look at blue. What if we go tactics leadership? I think that's something that I haven't really done before, and that could be kind of fun. Glorfindel OP. That's true, Giant. How you doing? Welcome. We could go dual leadership. We could go dual leadership. That's kind of interesting. We go Aomer. Actually, you know what? Aomer at 10, 18. I think we go Aomer. Aomer is pretty cool because you can Voltron Aomer. And we would probably grab Aomer second. We can Voltron Aomer, and that's our offensive answer. If we're using allies for our defensive answer, we're pretty. I mean, that's pretty good. We would want to go something a little bit lower. We could go Baragon for our defensive option. But I am trying to play. I am trying to play heroes that I don't normally get to the table. Honestly, Natasha would be kind of interesting. Our Miss N. She's an 8 cost, 1/2/2 4. You cannot use resources to pay for allies in her pool, but when she's attacking or defending, we can spend a resource to give her +2/+2, and then we can use all of our other resources. I kind of like that idea. I kind of like Miss N. I also have not played with Miss N, but she's low costed, and if we grab her last, that's when we're going to need the attack and the defensive options. What is this? While the engaged player is engaged with another orc. Yeah. Let's try Miss N. I have not tried Miss N before. Let's try Aomer. And let's go with Theodred. Nice. I think we can also look to see if there's another purple hero that we want to grab instead. Finally, a game where 8 costs is low. That it is funny when you put it like that, the perspective of it. The other option would be to just go Outlands and just go crazy with Outlands, which wouldn't be, that would actually be pretty cool. Nah, not worth it. Actually, Outlands work really well with this quest, don't they? Because you don't have to require a resource match. You can just throw a ton of the allies out there. You just flood the deck with the allies. No. I've made my choice. We're going to try this. If it doesn't work, we'll go Outlands. But I think Outlands is actually going to be really, really strong against this. Because Outlands all play off of each other. They give bonus to all their other Outland characters. Yeah, that seems really good. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Let's find our Voltron stuff for Aomer. That is a starting threat of 26. What if we go with Sword Thane? We could Sword Thane and just start getting more resources. That's actually kind of fun. Attached to a unique ally belonging to any sphere of influence. That seems actually really challenging to set up. Because we'd have to play the ally first. Shadowfax. Got our Rings of Power. The other option would be to go Worm Tongue. If you go Worm Tongue, and then you can like use Threat to help pay for things, that can help you ramp pretty quickly. Hidden Cache. A good harvest we won't need. I'm just looking at these. Play only if you control 2 or fewer heroes. Until the end of the phase, if your threat is higher than 20, treat your threat as if it was 20. Now that's kind of interesting. Hmm. So if we go play only if you control 2 or fewer heroes, that would only be the first stage because these are heroes. Never mind. Never mind. So they count as heroes. What about things that affect all heroes? Because these are another hero. While we're here, let's grab some Gandalfs. Sneak attacks, Steward of Gondor, all the good stuff. Probably want to grab 3 stewards. Probably want to grab cheap allies as well. Let's grab 2 Snowborn Scouts while we're just here in the S's. At this point, I think I've passed the Steward of Gondor. Oh, there we go. Um, okay. So we are looking for Aylmer / Rohan stuff. Firefoot is one of those. Attached hero gets +2 if it's Aylmer. We want Firefoot. Firefoot is a mount. Firefoot is restricted, so that's good to know. Where's Firefoot? Faramir is actually pretty interesting here too. Let's go ahead and just grab a Faramir. Probably run 1x. Just really help with some of that Blitz quest. Each Rohan hero can be declared as an attacker against enemies in the staging area. Attached to a warrior character. Counts as 2 restricted attachments. It's less good. Actually, well, that could go with Miss N. Give her +1/+1/+2 hit points. I think we probably would enjoy a Horn of Gondor. Well, I think we have enough resources. Actually, I think I think we probably have enough resource generation. What if we go Quick Strike? I think Quick Strike with a beefed up Aylmer is pretty decent. There's one other thing I'm missing for Aylmer, right? Oh, Spear of the Mark. Nope. Rohan Warhorse? Yes. Rohan Warhorse. Because Aylmer is after a character leaves play, Aylmer gets +2 attack until the end of the round, putting Aylmer at 5. Firefoot is 7. And then Rohan Warhorse. Excess damage from Firefoot. Okay. I think we go Rohan Warhorse. Yeah, let's do that. Grab 2 of those. And we're doing a lot of stuff where like it would be nice to have access to blue because there's a lot of Rohan stuff there. Optionally engage an enemy. Captain on Gondor could go to Aylmer if we just want to shatter theme and throw that out the window. Um, I think I think at this point. Oh wait, Rohan Warhorse. Oh wait, no, we didn't grab Spirit of the Mark. Never mind. I think I do like the idea of Quick Strike because Aylmer can just take someone out and that solves the defense. So let's grab 2 copies of Quick Strike. Quick Beam. Now let's grab 3. Then I think we go allies after this. I think the rest of our deck is allies. We could go feints. Feints could also work. Just trying to think if there's anything that we need. Actually, before we flood with allies, let's take a look at our purple cards and see if there's anything that we really want there. I think this is a really cool quest. I'm pumped about this. Anything that I need to be on the lookout for? We can go gaining strength. Gaining strength is actually, I think that's an include. Discard 2 resources to add 3 resources, but the fact that we're going to be getting minimum 2 on each hero, that's just a card for a resource. Now the question we have to ask is, does our resource? I think our resource generation already outpaces our card draw, so we may not actually need that. We'd prefer card draw. Yeah, I think that's right. So if we go here, 2 resources from the hero's resource pool to draw a card, that does have to be a Gondor hero, and we don't have any to start us out until we get Steward. So I don't actually know if that's going to be the right call. Gondor allies. Nothing's really jumping out to me. Olorian could be kind of interesting to if we run all Sylvans, but we just don't have the synergy, the hero synergy for Sylvans. Heir. Nope, never mind. I was gonna say Heir of Marjorie is interesting here because if we go with the hero that's going to be passing out resources, then we don't need it because they won't ever be exhausted because this exhausts after. Although we could go with Steward, that does combo with Steward pretty well. And if we can get ahead of the resource and we can use Steward in a later phase after we have, that's kind of interesting. So if we, yeah. Well, this readies Theodred. Let's try it. Let's try Air. I don't think I've ever played it. But so if we go Heir of Madriel. After the attached hero gains any number of resources from a card effect, exhaust this to ready the attached hero. That means Theodred readies himself, which is pretty interesting. If you give the resource to him, and then we can start having. Wow, we have very low quest power. I didn't think about that. We'll probably be fine. Our hero lineup is 3. That just means that we need to run with allies. Huh. As we're looking through. Each player draws a card, choose and ready 1 ally, take control. We have sneak attacks. That's Steward, King of the Mountain. The Clebrian Stone is kind of interesting. It's a 2 cost for a +2 willpower to throw on Theodred because we know we're going to be questing with Theodred. I think we do that. Grab 2 of those. How many cards does that give us? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4. Okay. So we got 26 cards. That seems like a lot of allies. We already have some allies in there. But let's go ahead and check out tactics, which is where our high questing allies come from. Okay. Bofur, 1 weapon attachment. I wish that was not weapon attachment. Gondalorian Spearman, Defender. I'm just looking for high willpower. I guess it makes sense that there aren't really any. I think our questing potential is going to be is going to be our biggest issue. Let's look at purple allies. Denethor gets -1 for each damaged hero you control. That could be kind of interesting. Because if we don't have damaged heroes, or if we don't have heroes, Denethor's 4 cost. He's so expensive. We do have a Faramir. So that's giving like effectively a +1 to all of our allies. Knight of the White Tower. We could go Knight of the White Tower. Because I think Theodred's going to be paying for a lot of stuff. And Knight does have a lot of impact. Seven. We got Snowbarns. Longbeard Elder is a pretty decent quester. We have Gimli. I think we'll grab a Gimli, I think. Dwarven Sellsword at the end of the round. We discard him unless we spend a resource. Kind of nice. Ooh, Galadriel. Yeah. Yeah, Galadriel. We're running a lot of Galadriels because that's going to get so many of our attachments. Oh, yeah, Galadriel's fire. Yeah, 100%. Let's grab another one of her because she's going to solve a lot of our quest problems, but also get attachments into play. Hello, Ramp. I think that's 10. It's a pretty good quest ally for Treebeard. A bit of a longer quest so you can get value from his resource generation. Oh, interesting. And run Ents. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I like that. I'd be down. Let me grab who was I looking for? Gimli. And then you can actually run. You can run out. I guess I don't have to not run out of aspect because I can play out of aspect the first 2 quest phases. We go Treebeard. Let's grab all of our int allies. Quick theme. The Preserver. And then Wandering Ent. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We got 9 left. Let's look. We have double tactics, and we haven't really even touched tactics yet. which I don't love from a deck building perspective. Go Booming Int. Ooh, Skin Bark. Attacking alone against an orc enemy, they don't count its defense. That kills, I think, everything. Not the Warg Rider, but that's fine because they only have one defense. We're gonna go Skin Bark. Skin Bark seems really good here, because so many of those are orcs, and just one attack we can just throw it. Plus, I haven't played Skin Bark before. Skin Bark, where you at? We're getting so many cards. Miss N's resources go to her abilities, so no big deal. Oh, that's true. That is very, very true. Thank you. Yeah. What an interesting hero. I do like how like those heroes can feel so different. I think that's pretty cool. We go Durndingle. That's going to help with some of the defense. Are we running 3 Skin Barks or just 2? I think 3 Skin Barks is not out of the question. I think we go 3. I think Skin Bark, they are unique though. So actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go Booming. I'm going to go Durndingle. Six, 7, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We have 1 slot left. We could go a second copy of Faramir, which would be kind of interesting. We could go some sort of Ent synergy. We could go Beach Bone. We could go another Skin Bark. What is the... Did we grab 3x of the green Ents? We did, except for Quick Beam. That makes sense. Go... I was going to say Legolas, but I don't know if that's the path forward. We could go... I don't really want to run... You have a lot of allies. A very good tail would be... Oh! Huge! Great call. Yeah, a very good tail. Good call. So a very good tail. Exhaust 2 allies. Shuffle your deck and discard the top 5 cards. Put up to 2 allies discarded this by this effect into play. Excellent call. Excellent call. I think we actually run 3 of these. Love that. Love that idea. Nope. Cost 0. So let's cut out 2 cards. Because now we're at 52. I usually put this here, but instead of cleaning up, I just pushed everything off camera. So now I don't have a spot to put my stuff. Okay. Cut an air. There's 1 to cut 1 more card. We could cut a... We could cut a very good... a very good tail. But I don't know if I want to. We could Gimli. Nah, Gimli is good. I don't know if we need 3 Durndingles. Well, I mean, it's a 5 defense, which is pretty decent. Want to keep Faramir. Probably want to keep Snowborn just as a drop. Steward feels good. Wellingham Preserver is good. I'm going to cut out the 1 copy of Quick Beam and just run with 1 copy of Quick Beam. And that's going to be the deck. I like it. Cool. Ints twice in a row. I do love ints. Ints are fun. Alrighty. Let's do it. A tribe of Haradrim have rescued you, but their village is attacked by orcs. Set the Orc Chieftain aside out of play. Each player adds 1 copy of Sauron and some forcers to the staging area. Boom. Just like that. Ooh, I don't have my tracker. I'll go red today. Okay. Each player takes control of an objective hero and adds 2 resources to their resource pool. I think we're gonna go with the resource generating one. I think that's just gonna be so nice to just flood the field with allies, and then we don't have to worry too much about like the quest. And it's only 1 less quest power than the quester, although the quester does seem really good. Round 1 is pretty important, so fingers crossed the encounter deck is yeah, right. I feel like this could be a just turn 1 be over. But that does start us with 4 resources, which just feels really good. Remove each remaining objective hero from the game. For the remainder of the game, heroes in the staging area are in play. Yada yada yada. Text considered blank. Damage from undefended attacks must be dealt to a hero in the staging area if able. The first card each player plays each phase does not require a resource match. After placing progress on the stage from questing successfully, each player chooses a hero he owns in the staging area, takes control of that hero, and exhausts it. So I think our game plan is to hopefully grab something that can help quest in round 1. We're showing 1 threat, and we're going to be questing with 2, so we do need something to help with quest. So if we grab Theodred on round 1, then our resource ramp starts to happen. The quest hero is Fedro is really good. It's hard to pick a different one in solo. All 4 of them have merit. That is fair. Just being able to see what's coming, that does get us into our resources really easily. Are these considered basic heroes? Or like, do you just start to get resources that don't do anything after stage 3? And should I have put more cards in that they could pay for? They're neutral? It's kind of lame. Or should I have run songs? I don't know. That's interesting. I think 3 questing seems really good. We can guarantee a turn 1 pretty much. Let's try that, because I also think if we grab Theodred, our resources can be pretty good. Our resource like control can be pretty nice. Though having an extra resource every single round seems really good. I guess we'll just mulligan fairly hard for Steward. Songs are neutral allies. Envoy is great to turn the resources into... Ooh, Envoy is good, yeah. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Yeah, I think this helps a lot with early game, and then the resource one could help a lot later game. Especially once we get Miss N. Once we have Miss N, you can start pumping her full of resources. And if we have Steward and we have Theodred on the table, then we don't need as many resources probably. Interesting. Having the 3 willpower just seems really good. We're at the point in the card pool where there are way more than 50 good cards to include, so it's easy. That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah. It's always a good spot to be in. I think this is probably the better play. I think this is probably the stronger choice. I'm going to go here because it seems a little bit more fun for me. And so, and then if we lose, we get to play more. So it's like, we win, right? Cool. Alrighty, let's go 6 cards. We're looking for allies that we can play. Skinbark, Wellingham Preserver, Quick Strike, Knight of the White Tower. That does help. I almost have all of Marvel Champions in Arkham Horror. I'm thinking about getting this game too. Sweet. Friendly Robot, this is a great game. This is a fantastic game. If you like the deck building aspects, this provides so much of that. Wandering Ent and a Quick Strike. I do like the fact that we can drop a Knight of the White Tower on turn 1. It's probably too many Ints to start us out. Maybe not, actually. But getting a Knight of the White Tower on turn 1 seems pretty good. Our starting threat is 28, I believe. What was that? 26? Let me fix that. I don't think the quick strikes really help us too much here. I'm going to mulligan this. I think we have a decent turn 1 play. I think there are better turn 1 plays, though. That would give us 4. I think we would have been okay. I think we would have been fairly reliant on card draw. 2, 4, 6. We're stuck with it. We're stuck with it, my friends. Alrighty, what we got? Snowborn Scout, Knight of the White Tower, Steward of Gondor, Booming Ent, Wandering Ent, and a Gandalf. That's what I would say is a much better starting hand. We're drawing into a Rohan Warhorse. We're going to get a resource and give a resource here. And let's ride. I've heard Lord of the Rings LCG is good, but it was an earlier design, so it's not as good as Arkham Horror Marvel Champions. I would say it's different. Of the 3, this is my favorite. It's more... I think the learning curve is a little bit higher, not in terms of rules, but in terms of like how to exploit the game to benefit yourself is, I think, harder in this game, just because there's a lot of like phases, sub-phases, like this, then you can take actions, then you can do this, then you can take actions. So I think it's a little bit different. Marvel Champions was my favorite. Marvel Champions is where I started, and it was my favorite, but as the card pool expanded, this became my favorite. I also just love this IP. You know what? Let's just start. We're going to throw a Knight of the White Tower onto the table. So Knight of the White Tower's resource cost must be paid for by a single hero's resource pool. That gives us 4 questing power. And let's just go all out. If we lose here, we lose here. Okay, we lose. Oh, shoot. Okay, while Jungle Trail is the active location, each location in the staging area gets -1 threat. Reveal a top card and counter deck to travel here. Okay. So that shows us 5. So we increase our threat by 2. Ow. Well, that's a little scary. It's a tough first pull. Okay. I think we have to travel here. Reveal the top card of the deck, which is an Urk of Mordor. Each ally with less willpower than its threats cannot defend against him. Okay, I got that. Yeah, I lose at 50 threat. But also each one of these enemies, so like the number up here in the top left-hand corner of each enemy card, those will engage if my threat is at or above. And so that's also another reason to want to keep your threat low. And this is a unique quest where I'm not actually starting with my heroes. I have to get them. Okay. Stand up. Not looking good already. I'm going to draw into a Dirndingle. Get 2 resources there. We're in trouble. We're in trouble here. Yeah, so normally you start with 3 heroes, and the reason that the deck building in Lord of the Rings is so much more vast, I think, than the others, is you don't have any hero-specific cards or anything, so you just build a deck of 50 cards, and based on the sphere that they're from, like I have 2 red, there's purple, there's also green and blue, those resources are what can pay for other. Don't forget the force effect on Enforcer. No. Gross. Thank you. Okay. So we got I'm gonna spend 2 to play a Wandering Ent. Comes into play exhausted. I'm gonna quest for 4. We're showing 3. I'm gonna flip into a 2. At this point, I'm scooping. I don't see a way out of this. We're getting more enemies. We don't have defensive options. We're gonna just call that a scoop. Flipping a 4 location on turn 1 is brutal. I feel like Knight of the White Tower is a decent turn 1. And the encounter deck was, in fact, not gentle. No, that was mean. That was real mean. I mean, even with the 3 quester, we would have been in the same situation. We wouldn't have been able to get out of that. I think if we flip that 4, we're probably scooping, which is a little unfortunate. I assume there's like Gondor, Mirkwood, Rohan, and all that. They all have different strengths and weaknesses. I feel like you're a Rohan player. Yeah, they all do. And they all have different like archetypes. The encounter deck is always a harsh mistress. Yeah. So like dwarves want to have a lot of dwarves, and they also have like the archetype of discarding cards from the top of your deck, similar to like Bishop. Like there's a lot of cards like that. Rohan is all about having characters leave play. Sylvan is about entering and leaving play with allies. Gondor is like the big money. Ints are slow but strong, and so Ints always enter play exhausted, so they take a round to kind of get going, but they can be so powerful once they do get going. Hobbits are really low threat, so like your starting threat is the sum of the threat cost of each one of the heroes in the that you choose. And like we have a 8 10 8, which is pretty low. So we have we start with 26. Hobbits you're probably starting around like 20 or less, and there's a lot of cards that deal with getting an additional benefit if you have less than 20 threat, so you can kind of lean into that. I'm trying to think of some of the other archetypes. Noldor is all about discarding cards for effect. And so you can like discard cards from your hand, and then there's a card where you can play it from your discard pile to draw a card, and then you can discard it. So it's like kind of a card that you can just spam over and over again. Oh, I just noticed that YouTube is not showing up on the screen. Restream being weird again. Gondor is also a lot of allies. There is no ally limit in this game, so it can get a little crazy. But it's fun. Alrighty, let's get 6 cards. Dunedain. The Dunedain archetype is all about having enemies engaged with you and how many you have, and then they have like traps where you can like stop enemies from activating. You sold me on this game. I'm buying the core set and Fellowship of the Ring. Sick. I would also recommend not to try and get you to spend all your money, but the core set in this game is the weakest of the 3. I think maybe not. Maybe Arkham could be considered the weakest, but I think the core set is not super great. They have starter decks now, like they have dwarves, Rohan, Gondor, and elves. I would say pick up one of those alongside of like Fellowship potentially, because that really can show you how the deck building can be done. And it comes with like really good precons. Like they're actually really good cards. And those precons have a higher distribution of cards that are not going to be in the repackaged content. And so you're not like double buying some cards. We got Galadriel, we got Steward of Gondor, we got Wandering Ent, Faramir, Durndingle, and a Booming Ent. I don't know if I want to play Galadriel turn 1. Good advice. I like Elves and Gondor. Those are, yeah. Elves, of the starter decks, Rohan is probably my favorite mechanically, but I do love the Elves. The Elves are sick. Yeah, I don't know if I want to play Galadriel because any attachment, I don't want to attach to the basic hero. I guess I could. We could go Wandering Ent and a Durndingle and just kind of assume that we're not getting a hero turn 1, but we could drop both of these allies and then have 2 Ents ready to go on turn 2. And we have a defensive option, so we can pull this guy down here. And then next round we could play the Booming Ent. So we wouldn't engage this round, but we could engage next round and defend with the Durndingle. This feels like a pretty decent hand to keep. We have Steward ready to go. We have Galadriel ready to go. We have Ents. We have Faramir for a later turn drop. I'm gonna keep this hand. We're gonna top deck into a Snowborn. Okay. We're gonna get 2 resources. Normally we only get 1 resource. Keep in mind the first card each phase ignores resource match, so you couldn't play both Ents. Oh, it's only the first card. That's tough then. Ooh, gross. Okay. Well then. Cool. And I think it's a Faramir drop. Alright, we're gonna spend 4 to play Faramir. So we can exhaust Faramir to choose a player. Each character controlled by the player gets +1 willpower until the end of the phase. And we're just going to quest for 4. We're showing 1. I'm going to flip into a 3, which is the Dense Jungle. When it is explored, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If it's a location, add that to the staging area. We are showing 3. We quested for 4. We get to place a progress. Let's go. After placing progress on the stage from questing successfully, each player chooses a hero he owns in the staging area, takes control of that hero, and exhausts it. So we're going to take Theodred and exhaust. Advance to stage 2A. Still weary from the long journey across the desert, your companions are somewhere in the village. In your weakened state, you are no match for the attacking orcs. Your only chance to survive is to flee into the jungle, but you will not abandon your friends. Damage from undefended attacks. The first card each player does not require a resource match. When the stage is defeated, each player chooses a hero he owns in the staging area and takes control of that hero. Excellent. Okay. So we have Theodred and we have Faramir. I think at this point we could probably travel here and we can start working on that. Okay. Let's stand up. At the end of the round, we have to increase our threat. Top of the round, we are going to draw a card, which is a sneak attack, and we are going to pass out money. We get to choose a hero to add a resource to that hero's resource pool. We're going to choose Theodred. And then we're going to play Steward of Gondor on Theodred. Steward of Gondor, we can exhaust to give 2 resources to the attached player. So that's going to be Theodred there. And actually, before we do that, no, I think we have to do it like that. We could go Galadriel. We're just going to go 1 because the first card played does not require a resource match. Yeah, we're just going to go 1 for a Snowborn Scout. Place a progress on our active location, but now we have a defender. Because it's only the first card that ignores resource. which is fine. Okay. We're going to quest with Theodred. We're going to give Theodred a resource. We're going to quest with Khalil. Am I saying that correctly? Khalil. And then Faramir. So that's going to be 2, 4, 5. Questing against a 1, or against a 2. And we needed to do damage. I'm going to do the damage to Faramir. Against the 2. Surge. Attached to the highest threat location in the staging area without a copy. Okay. There is none. It surges into Forest Clearing. When Forest Clearing is explored, discard the top card of the deck. If it is an enemy, added to the staging area. So that's 4. We quested for 5. We're going to place 1 here. The Enforcers would have done 2 damage last turn since you did... Oh, good call. Thank you. Thank you. And we're at 27. No need to engage, so we're just going to stand up. Top of the round, we're going to draw into another Galadriel. And I get a resource. And give a resource over here. And we can start playing some Ents. We have a defensive option. We don't need Booming Ent because we don't have any other Ents. So let's just go ahead and spend 2 not matching resources and play Wandering Ent. I guess we can throw the additional damage there. We could play Galadriel. Does Galadriel get us anything? The only attachment that we would really want to grab is the Celebrian Stone. Rohan Warhorse could also be kind of interesting. Do we have any other attachments? We do. Why can I not think of them? We have the horses, Celebrian Stone, Steward. If anything, it's just more quest power this phase. And then Faramir, actually. I think we do. Yeah. Let's go 3 to play Galadriel. We're going to search the top 5 cards of our deck for an attachment of 3 or less and put it into play. Or we could just whiff. Oh, Celebrian Stone, let's go. Let's go. Oh, Air the Magic. Oh, okay. Good call. Yeah. But we got the Celebrian Stone. Attached to a hero. Attached hero gains +2 willpower. If it's Aragorn, he also gains a blue resource icon. Let's go. That's hype. That's nice. That's real nice right there. Oh. Sometimes it's fun to be a little risky. Excellent. So now we have a 3 quester on Theodred. Woo! Alrighty. Put the remaining cards back in any order. Shoot. I shuffled it. It was, what was it? It was Sneak Attack. Wellingham. It was... Shoot. I don't actually remember what it was. Well, oops. Okay, well, there you go. So we are showing 5. 5 in the staging. Let's go ahead and quest with Theodred for 3. We'll go ahead and give ourselves a resource. Quest with Galadriel for 1, 2, 3. Quest with Khalil for 1, 2. And then we're going to exhaust Faramir. Did I not do this again? Snowborn, Sneak Attack, Booming Ent. Oh, thank you. So it's Snowborn. You're the best. Thank you. Sneak Attack. Snowborn. Sneak Attack. Booming. Durndingle. Sweet. You're the best. Oh. Snowborn. Snowborn. Thank you. I've definitely gone 2 rounds, so I need 2 more damage here. Okay, that guy has to go. That guy has to go. The bane of every LCG for getting a triggered effect. It's a lot easier when I can just rewind this stream. Yeah, right? Okay, so we get to put these on top in any order. Let's go with Snowborn. Do we have... Okay, so our off aspect is going to be probably Durndingle next turn. So we don't need Durndingle. We'll probably go Snowborn. I think at that point we can probably grab Booming, Durndingle, and Sneak Attack. Yeah, I like that. Sneak Attack doesn't really do anything. But we can throw the damage on Galadriel this time if we don't take out the Enforcer. Cool. Okay, so I said 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. We actually have we run the risk of pushing again, which makes it a lot harder to kill the Enforcer. That's kind of a fun little pacing. Interesting. And if he's dealing 3 damage, that's really bad for us. We could hit Galadriel. I don't want to push. I need to take out the Enforcer before I push. So I'm not going to use Faramir. So we're at 8. We're showing 3, 5. So that'd be 3. If I go with Faramir, that'd be 1, 2, 3. That'd be 11. We're showing 5. That'd be 6. The only way that we push is if we draw just a Treachery. Actually, we're just going to quest with Faramir. We're going to quest for 10 instead of using his ability. And then we won't push regardless. I'm going to show when revealed until the end of the phase, increase the total threat in the staging area by X, where X is twice the stage number. So it's 4, 7, 9. We quested for 10. That's going to clear here. Then discard the top. If it's a location, it is not added to the staging area. We're good. That's nice. That was nice right there. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and travel here, and we'll go ahead and engage the Enforcer. We're gonna go ahead and block the Enforcer's attack with Snowborn. No shadow effect. Snowborn dies. Awesome. We don't have any way to attack back, so we're going to stand up. We're going to assign the damage to Galadriel, and then she gets discarded at the end of the round. This damage, Galadriel. And we start to have our Int army online. Let's go. And we're showing 0 in the staging. I like that. Let's go ahead and pass out some money. Got 1. We got 2. We're going to get 2. I don't actually know if I gave the steward money. I'm going to draw into Snowborn. First, doesn't match our resource. We're going to play Durndingle. Comes in exhausted. I'm going to spend 1 to play a Snowborn to place a progress here. We could go Galadriel again, but I'm going to... We know 3 of the cards, and we know that they're not attachments. You scammed me thinking this is an actual movie stream. Wait, what? I don't think I get it. We know that... The top 3 cards are not attachments, and so we don't have to. So you automatically engage with certain enemies when your threat gets high enough. What stops you from just immediately engaging each enemy and then taking them out? So you can only optionally engage one enemy every single round, and so you can only choose one. The enemies attack before you attack, and so the enemies will attack. You declare defenders. You resolve that attack, and then you can attack back. And so whenever you engage someone, they will attack you unless you have a card that allows you to get around it. And so you have to have a defense. If you let it go unblocked, it gets assigned to a hero, and heroes can just die. So, and there are decks that want enemies. There are decks that don't want enemies. So there's a, it's a that's a fun part of the game, is trying to figure all of that out. We do not want to push again. Mainly because we don't want to make this a 3. We're showing 0. So let's just go ahead and quest with Theodred for 3. We're showing 0. I don't think I actually want to go any more than that. And then we can actually probably swing back for 2, 5. We have lethal here if we block with the Snowborn here. So let's quest with 3. We're going to get a money. I'm going to draw into Mordor Rourke. Yikes. Okay. Attach to an orc enemy. When revealed, attach to an orc enemy and return that enemy to the staging area. Counts as a mount attachment with the attack. So he gets +2, +2, +2, and +2 hit points when the attachment enemy leaves play, added to the staging area. That is brutal. That's a tough card. Yikes. Okay. Okay. So he goes back to the staging area. He's now a 4. We quested for 3, so we increase our threat by 1. Alrighty. Well, that's not great. We could optionally engage them. Oh my gosh, that's bad. That's real bad. If we optionally engage them, we have a block here, and we can throw. He has 4 defense now, so we can throw 5. We can throw 1 damage at him. We need a Gandalf, I guess. I'm not 100% sure how to combat that. I think at this, well, it's actually the worst part is the indirect damage that he's going to be throwing at us. It's 2 damage. We could. He's going to have a 4 attack next round, so we could block with a Durndingle. We do have the Snowborn. Ow. Thank you for the subscription. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Ugh. Okay. I'm gonna go. We're not gonna engage. We're gonna go 1 and 1. Keep Snowborn out there. Increase our threat to 29. Unexhaust. Draw into Booming Ent. Pass out some money. We're gonna get 3 from the ability here. Okay. Let's go 2 for a Booming Ent. Comes into play exhausted. Gets +1 attack for every damaged Ent we have. We have our defensive option here. We also could chomp with the Snowborn. But I would like to get the damage here. And then we can damage here. Then Booming Ent is swinging for like 5. And that's our answer there. don't think it's worth playing another Galadriel right now, mainly because I don't really want to push. But it is a little hard to. I guess you could sneak attack Galadriel. The other reason that we could throw Galadriel into play is not necessarily getting the attachment, but it is setting the top 5 cards of our deck. And so if we can find a Gandalf, if we can find different allies, that could be a big help. Plus, we could then quest for 6 since we're showing 4. We're showing 4, so we could quest for 6 pretty easily. We know it's Durndingle and then a sneak attack. I think I need the benefit of that right now. I'm gonna actually save the sneak attack. We're just gonna play for Galadriel straight up, and we're gonna look at Durndingle, sneak attack, Wellingham Preserver, quick strike, and a Sword of Gondor. Okay, so we can't put Sword of Gondor into play. We're gonna bury that. I think Wellingham Preserver goes on top. Sneak attack. Or we could go quick strike. Quick strike could be kind of interesting. Toss that Sword of Gondor ASAP. If we go quick strike, the Booming Ent will have a 5 attack to its 4 defense, dealing 1 damage beforehand. So that's not the play there. So we're gonna bury sneak attack, quick strike. We're gonna go this. So Wellingham on top, start healing some stuff. Durndingle, plus also having a 3 willpower, and then we can get Durndingle onto the table. But I think I would rather get Wellingham onto the table earlier. That the Warg is mean. Warg is mean there. I can see how the quest person being able to discard the card seems so good. And like we didn't really need the money. Okay, let's quest for 3. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna give ourselves some money. And quest for 1, 2, 3. And I think at that point we are going to not quest anymore. So we need to deal 7 damage effectively here. We're going to have a 1, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we may just not engage, because then we don't have to defend him twice. Yeah, I don't think we're actually going to engage him. And if we flip into something else, we can deal with that. We're requesting for 6. We're showing 4. If we have to engage based on a failed quest attempt, that's fine. We have Snowborn that we can block with. Actually, we'll probably block with the Durndingle, because that'll give us a +1 attack. 6 showing 4. Let's ship it till the end of the phase. Increase X by where X is twice the number, so it's +4. So we're showing 8. We quested for 6. Increase our threat by 2. Now we will engage because we have to. Okay. So we've got a attack of 2. We're gonna block with the Durndingle. No, we're gonna block with the Snowborn here. There's no reason to block with the Durndingle. Giving the +1 damage to the Booming Ent doesn't matter because the Booming Ent is exhausted. So we're just gonna block with the Snowborn. It's gonna be 4. Attacking enemy gets +1 if it destroys the character. Reveal the top card of the encounter deck. I hate that. Southron Obama. X is the stage number. Travel. Each player spends a resource to travel here. That's actually fine. Totally fine. Okay. We will swing back for 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, dealing 2 damage to him. And then we have to deal 2 damage to characters. And they go Booming Ent and... Oh, wait, no. We're just going to go 2 on Galadriel. And Galadriel gets discarded at the end of the round. So that worked out. Let's stand up. Booming Ent is online. I repeat, the Booming Ent is online. Okay. Alrighty. Stand up. Draw into the Wellingham Preserver. We're going to pass out some money. We're going to choose Theodred to get the extra money here. And then we're going to use Steward of Gondor to get some money. Yeah, I don't think we needed the extra money here. I think if we mulligan hard enough for Steward, we'd be fine. First card does not require a resource match. I'm going to play Wellingham Preserver. Comes into play Exhausted. But whenever we ready Wellingham Preserver, we get to heal a damage off of an Ent character. Which is nice. We don't have any other plays. We need card draw. I wonder if that attachment that you can spend 2 resources for a card draw. I think that may make it into the deck if we don't push through this round. Okay. We are showing 2. We have Durndingle defending. Booming will attack for 4. So we have lethal. We're showing 2. At 31 threat. I think Gandalf's actually may be needed for threat reduction because this is going to be like a longer game, like you were saying, Jared. So we may need to do that. Let's quest for 3 with Theodred. We're showing 2. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to go 3 to 2. Flip, attach to an orc enemy and return that enemy to the staging area. Limit 1 per enemy. So I think this stays here. I think this just gets revealed like that. Requested for 3 will increase our threat by 1. This guy will engage us. Okay. Pass out shadow cards. I think I'm going to take this attack undefended, and we have to assign it to one of them, and I think I'm okay with that. Take this attack undefended. Return the attacking enemy to the staging area. Fine, whatever. And then 2 damage on Miss In. And then we are going to defend the Enforcer. We're going to deal a damage to give +3 defense. And it's going to be an attack of 4. No shadow effects, so we fully defend. We're going to have so many wargs. Yeah. We're going to have Booming Ent attack for 2, 3, 4. Faramir attacks for 5, which will be enough to take him out. And then the warg goes back there. Okay. Gross. No more indirect damage, which is big. So let's go ahead and increase our threat to 33. We're going to stand everybody up. I'm going to draw into the Durndingle. We're going to pass out money. We're going to choose Theodred to get the extra money. And then we're going to Steward of Gondor for 2 more. Yeah, I think we have enough money. First card does not require a resource match. We're going to go with another Durndingle because I would prefer defense. Oh, when I readied, I'm going to heal the Durndingle. Go with another Durndingle. That's going to give us answers to more, or it's going to give us more defensive options. Comes into play Exhausted. So we're engaging both of those. We can block with... They're only attacking for 2. We honestly could take them undefended and go on Aylmer. I don't really think I need to do that, though. We're showing 4 in the... or 6 in the staging area. I don't think... I kind of like don't want to clear this. Because if I clear this, then there's a chance that we get another enemy. Which is very scary. But I think we're going to defend with the Durndingle and the Wandering Ent. So those are our defensive options. Booming Ent can take out one of them. And then the other one we'll just deal with next round. They're not huge threats. So let's go ahead and quest here. We get another money. That's 3, 6, 7, 8. Eight showing 6. We're gonna flip into. We're adding 4. Man, we are getting hit with that card so many times. That's what, 3? Yeah, that's the 3rd time we've gotten hit with that card. So our threat goes up by 2. Because we failed the quest. Ugh. These guys will engage because they engage on 20. I'm gonna block with Durndingle, dealing a damage, so it has 5 defense. Discard a random card from your hand. I'm fine with that, honestly. Top is even, bottom is odd. Sneak attack, alrighty. No damage. We're gonna block with the Wandering Ent, so 2 to 2. Attacking enemy gets +1 if it destroys a character. It does not. Just gets 1 damage. Booming Ent is gonna swing back for 4 and take this guy out. We'll stand up. When Wellingham readies, we'll heal 1 from Wandering Ent. Increase our threat to 36. Scary. We got a quick strike. Get money. We will play a Booming Ent. At this point, I'm okay to push. I think we have to, actually. Oh, jeez. Actually, we not actually a horrible time to just kind of chill. And wait, no, because threat's gonna catch up to us. If we had threat mitigation, we could chill, but we don't have any. Let's go 3. Get some money. So much money. 6. Booming and Durndingle can take out. Durndingle can block another enemy if we do get one. If we get a 3rd enemy by clearing this and top decking an enemy, we can take this one undefended and throw the damage on Aylmer. So we'll go 1, 2. And we'll exhaust Faramir to give 1, 2, 3. So that's 11, showing 2. Okay. 11 showing 2. We're going to flip into a forest clearing. When it's explored, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If it's an enemy, add it to the staging area. So that's 5. So we place 6. 1 goes here. After this is cleared, we're going to discard the top. If it's an enemy, we're good. And then 5 gets placed here. We get to choose a hero. It's going to be Aylmer. And we're going to exhaust. Honestly, actually, we don't have any of the things that soup Aylmer up. And our defensive wall is in place. So we may not need Aylmer right now. Because Aylmer gets additional benefits when characters leave play. And we have our defensive int wall. So we're actually going to audible here because we don't have the money and we don't have the card draw. And so we're just going to grab Miss N. And she can be... She can help us a lot with our offensive options, and she doesn't require people leaving play. We're actually going to grab here. If we had Firefoot or anything else in our hand, we would probably go with Aylmer. But at this point, we're just going to go with Miss N. Boom. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for an orc enemy and adds it to the staging area. Attach each hero in the staging area to a different orc enemy in the staging area. Each hero attached to an enemy is guarded by that enemy. Guarded heroes are under no player's control, immune to player card effects, and their text boxes are to be considered blank. While an enemy is guarding a hero, it gets +1 to all their stats and is immune to player card effects. When an enemy guarding a hero is defeated, that hero's owner takes control of the hero and exhausts it. We're going to grab one from the encounter deck. The Urk of Mordor does not... Nope, don't want that. Sauron's Enforcers is also pretty bad. Any of these have horrible shadow effects? So that's the other thing that I probably want to remove from the deck. If we go the Mordor, it's going to have 5 attack. It will engage us now. We could block with the Dern Dingle and probably not lose. And then we could actually take it out this round, I think, with a Booming Ent. Yeah, okay. So, Aylmer is now guarded there. And then we get the shadow effect out of there. Okay. So whenever we defeat that enemy, we get our hero, and then the resources here are pretty much null and void at this point. But I mean, we don't really have any that we want to use. I think we engage that now, and we tank with Dern Dingle. Seems pretty good. Do we want to travel? I think we do. Let's travel here. Just to get a 3, and we have to spend a resource. Oh no! Oh, that would have been a great use of this basic resource. All right, we're engaging here. Pass out shadow card effects, or shadow cards. We're gonna block with the Dern Dingle, dealing it damage for 5 defense to its 5. No shadow effect, we take no damage. Dern Dingle will block with 5. Discard an attachment you control. I think we go Steward of Gondor. I think we have enough resources here. We're going to toss Steward. We have so many resources. We don't need Steward. Okay. Booming Ent is going to swing for 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need to do a total of 7. So that's 5. Wandering Ent is 7. That takes out here. We're going to get Aylmer, who's going to be exhausted. Do we have any more? No, everyone's exhausted. Alright, so we got this guy still. That's fine. I am really happy that we got both of our heroes that round. That seemed pretty good. Okay. We'll stand up. Increase our threat to 37. Draw a sneak attack. Oh, and we have another Steward coming. We're fine. Honestly, I would prefer having the Steward out so we can throw it on Miss N. Yeah. Steward on Miss N at this point in the game. That actually worked out really well because we got all the resources and we got the ramp we needed from Steward here. And now we can transition Steward over here. Sick. Alrighty. Let's pass out some money. We're going to use the additional resource here for Miss N because we can spend resources for plus attack and defense. When I readied the preserver, I'm going to heal one from Durndingle there. Oh, we're cooking now. We got 2 boomings. Our Ent army, Jared, good call on the Ents. I love Ents. They're so cool. We got a quick strike and a sneak attack. Neither of them are working. Though, once we push, we're gonna have to take on the chieftain. He's honestly not that bad. He's only a 4-5-3-6. Not horrible. Okay. We're going to quest with 3. 6. We're showing 3. There's a 4 here. We want to do a little bit more questing. 8. 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. Requesting for 14 to 3. Yeah, we're good. Flip into Sauron's Enforcers. Here he is. Okay. We have so much health soak, so we're gonna be fine there. Okay. So we're showing 6. We quested for 14, so we place 8, 4, 4. Boom. Do we travel? Yeah, let's go ahead. Huh. I don't think we travel. Right? I think if we want to hold back, we can. And it's easier for us to hold back because the threat is 3 versus the 2 progress here. And when we clear it, there's a chance we get another enemy, which makes it harder to kill the chieftain. And if we need to, we absolutely can blitz through this quest. We're kind of holding back a little bit so that we don't have to deal with the chieftain quite yet. So cool. Okay, we'll grab here. We have a booming Ent attacking for 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is not enough to take out the Enforcer just like with a quick strike. A Miss N could attack for 6 with a quick strike, spending 2 resources to take out the Enforcer. I think the worst case scenario is us losing an attachment, and the Clearian Stone is not good, but it's not horrible. The other thing is we're about to get a stupid amount of resources on Miss N with Steward of Gondor, and so I don't know if I mind spending the resources here. And I kind of want to chump block and lose characters when Eomer is ready to attack. Yeah, let's go ahead and spend 1. We'll spend 2 to play Quick Strike. While she's attacking or defending, spend a resource. And do that, so she's going to attack with 6 and take this guy out. No shadow effect, so we would have been fine, but better safe than sorry. And then we have an attack of 2. We're going to block with Durndingle, deal a damage, so it's a defense of 5. It gets +1 or 2, it doesn't really matter. No damage. Booming Ent is going to kill this. See, the Ents get so powerful. It's so cool. Okay. The end of the round, we're going to increase our threat. We're going to stand everybody up. When we unexhaust Wellingham, we're going to heal 1 from Durndingle. We're going to grab a Steward of Gondor. We're going to pass out some money. We're going to give Miss N a additional resource here. And then we're going to spend 2 to play Steward of Gondor on Miss N. And she's going to get 2 more resources. Now we can pretty much one-shot this guy, right? Because we need to do 9 damage. And this is a total of 10 attack. So we have the ability to one-shot the chieftain. So I think it's time to push. Also, we don't know what we're going to draw. It's kind of exciting now. Nilsson, what's up? Hey, Griffin, how you doing? We're commanding an Ent army. That's what we're doing. We're having a good time with it, too. How you doing? We are going to quest for 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Is Treebeard in this game? Yes, Treebeard is in this game, both as a hero and an ally. The ally is considered significantly better than the hero, which is kind of funny. I do have Treebeard in my deck. I have not drawn him. This game would be much easier if I had drawn him. But basically, he also, as an ally, he collects resources that can be used to pay for Ents or used to ready Ents. So he's like the rallying cry of the Ents, and he's really good. I actually don't even remember what the hero version does. That's how little I use him. So we're at 14. And exhaust Faramir to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're requesting for 14. I'm not familiar with this game, but I saw D20's video saying that Gandalf in this game is basically Nick Fury in Champions. Yep. Red gloved man in Arkham. But yeah, there's actually I currently have 3 versions of Gandalf. There's a hero version and then there's 2 ally versions. The first Gandalf that was ever printed has like the whole like comes into play, get an awesome benefit, then leaves play at the end of the round. The Gandalf in this game is relatively better than the Gandalf or than Nick Fury in Champions, I think. Gandalf in this game is insanely good. I don't know if I don't really build decks without Gandalf in them. Is there a way to recur Gandalf, like make the call? Not really, because they have in the make the call in this game is called Stand and Fight, and Stand and Fight you can only pay for a ally from a sphere of influence, which is like an aspect, and you cannot pay for basic allies, and Gandalf is a basic ally. There's a ruling that I think is a dumb ruling, and it's been a ruling for like 10 years, so. But no. But sneak attack in this game, hey, I have it in my hand, is way better than in Marvel Champions, because you just put a card into play, and you can trigger Gandalf, and so you're not recurring Gandalf, but you sneak attack Gandalf in, and then he pops back, and you can play him again. So there is kind of that, but you can't really like recur him. But yeah, the stand and fight ruling, I'll talk about the stand and fight ruling. It says in parentheses from any sphere of influence, and they ruled that means that you cannot do anything from a not sphere of influence. But the way that I read parentheses is you should be able to interpret the card without the parentheses. Parentheses should be clarification, not additional restrictions. But here we are. So we're requesting for a 14, showing 3. We're going to flip into when revealed. Each ally in play gets -1 willpower, attack, and defense until the end of the round. So we're going to go down by 1, 2. So we quest for 12. We place 9, so we push. Okay. Add the chieftain to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and reveal 1 encounter card per player. Orc Chieftain cannot take non-combat damage. Each non-unique orc gets -10 engagement cost. After the Chieftain engages a player, it makes an immediate attack. So we're going to take an attack of 5, and also at the end of the encounter phase, It engages the player with the most non-unique orc enemies. While it's engaged with another orc enemy, we cannot damage it. And it's going to take 2 attacks, which I think is going to be fine. I think regardless, whatever we flip, Aomer can take out 1. If we flip another enemy, Aomer can. We're probably going to lose 2 ints here, so we'll be fine. I'm trying to think if there's anything that would be horrible to flip right now. Okay, it is an Urk of Mordor. Okay. Ooh, that's tough. That's really, really tough, actually. Because an ally with less willpower than its threat cannot defend. So that's actually going to be an issue. There are ways to recur Gandalf like Rallying Cry, but they aren't very good. Okay, yeah. Okay. So this will be fun. So both of these guys are going to engage us. We're going to make an immediate attack here. Of 5. This actually is very, very dangerous now. Okay. Because, oof, we're gonna take an undefended attack, or we could defend with Miss N. But if we take the attack undefended, we could pitch Theodred. I don't love the idea. We also could just sacrifice the Booming Ents now that we have attack options here. We can sacrifice the Booming Ents. We'll need 1 more defense here. Oh, wait. This is at the end. Wait. Oh, yeah. After it engages, it makes an immediate attack. Okay, so we're taking an attack here. But we lose the Durndingles. We potentially don't lose the Durndingle to a defense here. We lose it here, though. So let's go ahead and let's block Booming here. No shadow effect. We'll lose the Booming Ent. Because everything gets -1 defense. Okay, now we're gonna we're gonna Durndingle defense here. We have 4 defense. Assign X damage among characters, where X is the stage number of the main quest. So we're gonna assign 4 damage among characters. I think I may want to keep the Booming Ent. I may sack the Durndingle here against this attack, but the Booming Ent's going to be crazy damage, which we do have a lot of damage already. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Now the Booming Ent swings for 1 billion. We'll block with the Durndingle here. We're not going to do the damage. 5. That does take out the Durndingle. Aomer is up to a Aomer is up to a 7 attack. Oh wait, we can't defend. We cannot defend. Shoot. Okay. So the Booming Ent is still alive because we can't defend there. Which means we'll just put 1 damage there instead of 1 damage on the Durndingle. We still lose the Durndingle. We're going to defend with Miss N. And he's attacking for 4. We kind of know that there was no shadow effect, but we'll have spent 2. So she's defending for 6. Cool. Okay. Pets on the Rocks. Better late than never to join the streams, right? No, you're good. Welcome. Okay. So we have to take out the work. We've only lost one, so this is a 5 attack. No. Okay, so we're going to attack for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to take out here with the booming end. Then we got 7, 12, which is enough to take here. Okay. Okay, that wasn't horrible. Stand up, go to 39. Okay. We increase threat. We're gonna draw into Knight of the White Tower. Let's go. Gonna pass out money. Gonna give the extra to Miss N. And then Miss N gets 2 from Steward. We're gonna spend 4 to play Knight of the White Tower. We have a sneak attack. But if we can push through, we're good. Let's count it up. I'm gonna go 1, 2. Oh, win Wellingham. We're gonna go Durndingle. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna give that resource here. So we're at 12. Faramir is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Puts us at 17. We need a little bit more if we want to push through this round. We could also just kind of play it safe. But what's the fun in playing it safe? We should probably just play it safe. We could go Durndingle for +2. We have Miss N as a defensive option if we want it. Okay, so that's 19. We have the potential of pushing. We have defensive and offensive options, so I think that's kind of the best of both worlds there. So questing 19, showing 3. Flip into a Sauron's Enforcers. So that's going to be 3, so 6. So we're going to place 13. We were at 0. I never reset that. Okay. Sauron's Enforcers will engage. They are attacking for 3. We're going to block with Miss N, spending 2 resources, so it's a 6 defense. No shadow effect. We're going to swing back with that booming Ent for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 at 6. Bye-bye. I like Miss N. I think I'm enjoying how Miss N plays. We're going to stand up, increase our threat to 40. Yeah, ints were a great call here. Draw into Firefoot. There it is. Nice. Pass out money. Gonna give the extra to Miss N. Miss N gets Steward. I'm gonna spend 2 from Miss N to play Firefoot because why not? We got sneak attack. We need to put 2 progress on the quest. Kind of cool. Pets on the Rocks for 3 stream streak. That's cool. Now I only need to create an Amazon. Miss N also doesn't have to spend until after the shadow effect is revealed. So, oh, that makes her even cooler. Nice. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. I like that. That's fun. See, and like that's one of those things where when I say that Lord of the Rings I think is the more complex, it's things like that where it's like finding the flexibility and how the cards interact is a game in and of itself, and that can be kind of challenging, especially when you're approaching the game. But that's really cool. Alrighty, let's you think we can do this? Quest for 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. When we readied, I'm actually not going to heal an int. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Faramir is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 17. How did I get 19 last time? I don't know. Flip into another Sauron's Enforcers, showing 6. We quested for 17. We're placing 11 progress, which does win us the game. Let's go. There you go. That was a fun quest. I really enjoyed that quest. I think, getting the heroes like in waves made it really interesting in terms of like hero building and deck building, because you had to like find what heroes could sustain themselves. I do think that Theodred and the Resource Person and Steward of Gondor was not enough. We played most of the game with one card in our hand, and I think we probably could have gone Resource and like maybe Barravir. Well, no, because you need the hero activation, so you don't want someone that can exhaust. Bilbo wouldn't be a horrible call. I mean, you get to draw an additional card. Or going with the staff of the steward staff or something, where you can spend 2 money to draw a card. That would have been amazing. That would have been amazing to have. So I think there's a little bit of deck refining. I do think that, I don't know. The money was really good. This actually, yeah, being able to discard the top card of the encounter deck after looking at it seems very good. So that she's probably the best by far. But it was fun to run big money. Only 1 scoop is quite good for this quest. Thanks. Yeah. I thought this was a really fun quest. Definitely one that is worth revisiting, because it had a little bit of everything. Like, you had to defend, you had to quest, you had to like build your deck differently too. But we did get a win, which means that we get to unbox a new content. We finished the box. So we have the Mumakil. Mumakil? Am I saying that correctly? I don't know. So we're going to unbox this. I'm going to go to the Be Right Back screen, clean this up a little bit, and we're going to take a look at some new cards. And yeah. So I'll see you all very, very soon. Alrighty, let's unbox this thing. Let's go. Jared, the cheese for the quest is to run less than 3 heroes, so start at a low threat and make stage 3 easier. That's really cool. I like that a lot, actually. That's really, really fun. What was... So stage 3... So you'd still get the orc, but you start with a super low threat. You could go like... You could run that Strider card too, right? Because there's the card that's like if you control less heroes. What am I thinking of? Because there's the card that I want to I've wanted to try for a little bit, but I think you can only run like one, which maybe not work because you have the objective hero. It probably isn't. Strider. Attached to a hero. While you control 2 or fewer heroes did not exhaust to commit to the quest. While you control 5 or fewer characters, it gets +2. Okay, so Strider would be pretty good, and that's if you run one hero. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. I'm trying to figure out who you would go with. That's cool. I feel like that would be the quest to try out Strider. Alrighty. The Mumakil. We've got the Oliphant on the front of this one. Excited. I don't actually, you know what? I don't know if I'm actually excited to fight any Oliphants. But let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open and see what we got. I have a ton of these empty boxes. I have them all in order behind me in one of those shelves. Put Strider on the objective hero. Run Glorfindel with Light of Valinor. 2 heroes that don't exhaust and a starting threat of 5. I kind of love it. And then you run... Yeah, you just run mono blue. You run a Song of Travel, yeah. Give the objective ally +1. Light of Valinor gives you card draw. Yeah, that's disgusting. And then if you control 5 or fewer characters, which you could just like Voltron. Yeah, you could Voltron Glorfindel. You probably could run the what's the basic card that says you don't have to follow aspect? Good Harvest. Good Harvest? Is that it? You could run that and then also run like Boromir from Tactics to do some like defensive options. That's cool. That would be really cool. That'd be really, really cool. A Good Harvest. Yeah, okay, cool. Alrighty. New cards! I love new cards. We've got Kahil? Pets on the Rocks, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you so very much. And congratulations to Kamalisk for the sub. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Ally Boromir would be great with that low threat. Yeah. Because they get extra defense if the engaged enemy's threat is higher. So that'd be cool. That'd be fun. I kind of want to run the quest back and do that. I don't have time today, but like I think that'd be a lot of fun to try. Anyways, 10 threat. Let's focus. 2/2/2. You may use resources from this pool to pay for any Harad ally cards of any sphere. Discard a Harad ally from your hand to ready a Harad character in play. Limit once per phase. Cool. Okay, so it's kind of like a Outlands. The Outlands guy. which I am drawing a blank on their name right now, where you can pay for the allies from any sphere. I see something like with Elrond running this, maybe a Gandalf. I don't know. That's pretty cool. His armor looks sick. His armor looks really cool. I guess I also don't have a good grasp on what the Harad allies are right now. Speaking of Harad allies, though, got the Andarath Guardsman. Nope, this is not Harad. That's really funny, actually. 2 cost Dunedain Ranger, 1012 stat line. After you play him from your hand, choose a non-unique enemy engaged with you. That enemy cannot attack you this round. That's cool. Dunedains are all about having those enemies engaged with you, and so if you can prevent them from attacking, that makes it a lot easier, a lot better. That's cool. Also, we love 2-cost allies, because this can actually block 2 enemy attacks, because you stop the first attack, and then you can chump block with them. The fact that he has 2 health is also pretty nice from like a indirect damage standpoint. That's cool. I like it. We got a side quest. Prepare for battle. 1 cost, 6 threat. So this is actually a pretty costly side quest. While this quest is in the victory display, the first player draws an additional card during the resource phase. That's why. Okay, that's cool. This is in leadership. A lot of our card draw is in lore, and so having this in leadership is really interesting. Getting it there is kind of tough. I like it though. I really like it. I think that's really interesting. This is the first one. I probably should have run some of these in the last game, because I knew that there was a moment where we wanted to kind of stall out the quest. That's cool. That's cool. We're gonna have to try that one. Getting an extra card draw, it seems insane. We have a 5-cost ally here. Now this is a Harad, so we can pay for it. It's using our new hero. 5 cost, 2 willpower, 3 attack, 1/3 ranged, meaning that we can attack other enemies engaged with other players. After they are declared as an attacker, deal 1 damage to a non-unique enemy in play. Is this our objective ally? Yeah! Look at that. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Are we getting all the allies? Are we getting all the allies that we just had? That'd be really cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, so after he's declared as an attacker, deal a damage to a non-unique enemy in play. I like that. You can ping off those goblin snipers in the staging area. 5 cost is a lot. 2 willpower is really nice. 5 cost is a lot, though. We've got Wait No Longer. At the beginning of the quest phase, search the top 5 cards of the encounter deck for an enemy and put it into play engaged with you. Then reveal 1 less encounter card this phase to a minimum of 0. Shuffle the encounter deck. That's sick. That's a cool card. It's niche. 5 costs is a lot, but you can just run them in your Rings of Power deck and play them. That's yeah, that's very true. Oh heck yeah, we'll have to do the Rings of Power next game. This is really cool. I like this a lot. At the beginning of the quest phase, we get to search and find an enemy, put it into play engaged with you, so you don't have to put it into the staging area. You don't have to worry about the threat that it's going to progress. You know exactly what you are questing against, because you're not going to, in True Soul, you're not going to be revealing a card. You have something that's, you have the ability to like get a enemies, so you can turn on all your Dunedain stuff. Pets on the Rocks. I used to do tabletop Magic. That was like my high school job and hobby. So I did tabletop Magic. That's why I flip cards. This is really cool. I like Wait No Longer a lot, especially if you're running like a mono tactics where like Sphere or like questing is going to be one of the harder things that you do. Being able to just like effectively negate and perfect a quest seems pretty cool. Yeah, thanks. I like this card a lot. It's not going in every single one of my decks, but in the right decks, it's going to be amazing. We are going to get all the allies. Let's go. That's so cool. Okay. Jubayar, 5 cost, 1, 2, 3, 3. This is actually in Spirit. I was kind of expecting this guy to be the I don't know what I was expecting him to be. After he exhausted defending against attack, discard 1 face down shadow card from a non-unique enemy. Yeah, okay, we're gonna run these Harads in our next in our Rings of Power deck. We got a Dwarf Pipe. Hey, it's a pipe that's not a hobbit. Attached to a dwarf character. After a card is discarded from the top of your deck, exhaust this to place it on the bottom of your deck. That's big, because the dwarfs have so many things about discarding cards off the top of your deck. That's cool. Mono Tactics is known for being bad at questing, but they eventually become one of the best early That's funny. Overcorrect. Overcorrect. I like Dwarf Fight. That's cool. Yeah. Got a 5-cost lore ally. 3 willpower in lore. Let's go. 5 cost. 3, 1, 2, 3. After she commits to a quest, look at the top card of the encounter deck. Then you may discard the looked at card. That is amazing for lore. I think the tactics one is probably the least viable solo. These two are great, especially if you are leaning into the monosphere, because they're good at doing things that the sphere is not, right? Good at defense, good at questing, whereas this is the questing sphere, and this is not necessarily a defense sphere, but like you do have that. That's cool. That's really, really cool. Yeah. I think in like in mono or bisphere decks, you're running these cards. If you're running like heavy side of one. Still not 100% sure about this in like a mono, but it's not awful. That's really cool. Nice. Coney in a trap. Play only if you control a unique character with a ranger trait and another unique character with a warrior trait. After you engage an enemy, the enemy cannot attack you until the end of the round. Nice. Very, very solid for Dunedain. Oh, we don't get oh no, we don't get the one that I played with. Wait, or is this? Where did I put my deck? Okay, yeah. So the character I chose, Khalil, is the leadership hero. I'm hoping we get him as an ally. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So we did get all 4 of them. That's really cool. This would be an insane ally though. If we get an ally that passes out resources, that seems really good. That's cool. Oh, we got the Khalil's headdress. Attached to him, it's restricted. Each Harad character gets +1 willpower. That's intense. That's cool. A refresh action, we can exhaust the headdress to shuffle the topmost Harad ally in your discard pile into your deck. Cool. Okay, so you can discard a Harad ally to ready a Harad character, and then you can shuffle it back into your deck. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Okay, that's awesome. I think it would be really fun to run this and like a Aragorn of some sort with Sword That Was Broken. So now all your allies, if you're running all Harad allies, are +2. Faramir is the +3 willpower, and then you win the game. That seems awesome. I like the headdress. I'm not 100% sure why it's restricted. I guess there's this spear in the picture. I typically think of restricted items taking up a hand slot, but that's cool. Okay. This is a really exciting pack. I don't know if there's any cards that are like this goes in every single one of my deck, and I'm glad for that. I don't know if there's that many cards that we've opened recently, but each one of these cards fits a specific like deck and a specific play style, and all of them are cool. Actually, you know what? I think like here, I mean like they're all really cool cards. I think my least favorite is here, and I still really like her. Him. It's really cool. Maybe Dwarf Pipe, but Dwarf Pipe makes sense in the archetype that it's built into. These allies are awesome. I really like the headdress. I think that's really cool. Oh, and the fact that you can ready these allies. Okay, that's where that gets really cool. Is you can run these allies Huh. Yeah. So you can run these allies and then discard allies to ready them. And so you can get multiple defends of like 3 and reducing the shadow cards, multiple you can't commit multiple times, but you can do multiple attacks, deal a lot of ping damage. Okay, I think that's a cool archetype. I was not expecting there to be like a Harad archetype starting to form, but like big allies that can ready and do things that the aspect or the sphere that they are associated with is not historically known to be good at is awesome. That's a really cool thing to do. Nice. Awesome. That's cool. Very cool. Next stream, we have a new Marvel Champions hero. That's right, Nightcrawler is coming to us on Friday. I have a stream scheduled at 10 a.m. Watch the community page, because if I can't get Nightcrawler in time to get home quick enough, I may need to push that one back. But we are also doing another stream on Friday for Nightcrawler in the evening. So we're doing one at 10 a.m. and then one at 7 p.m. Nightcrawler, let's go. I'm so pumped for Nightcrawler. I'm getting so excited because he's just like feels exactly what I want to be my playstyle, and I'm really excited about the new like protection archetypes. And so Friday is going to be a Nightcrawler celebration. We're probably not going to do too many. Actually, we're probably not going to do any old hero new tricks. I'm thinking that we're probably just going to be playing Nightcrawler. And then next week we'll do some old hero new trick stuff. But I'm pumped. I look forward to seeing you all in just 2 short days for a new Marvel Champions hero. We'll play Lord of the Rings probably again next week. I'll post the schedule on the community page, YouTube on Sunday. Appreciate y'all. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and see you around. Peace.